All right, welcome in everybody to the deep dive. We've got a really fascinating topic to cover today. It's a place, but it's way more than just a place, right? It's Vrindavan. It's a place that is, well, it's supposed to just be buzzing with stories and ancient energy and even like a palpable divine presence.
You got it, yeah.
And so we're going to be talking about Vrindavan today, and our main source for this is going to be a conversation with Dr. Krishna King RG Maharaj. It's on a YouTube channel called Speaking Tree.
Yeah, he's great.
And so, our mission here is to try to take all this stuff and distill it down for you, the listener, to something that you can, understand quickly, and you can really retain, take it with you after the show is over.
And hopefully put into practice, right?
Exactly. So before we get too far, I think it might be good to maybe just set the stage a little bit. Like what kind of perspective is this spiritual leader bringing to the table?
Sure. So the speaker that we're focusing on today is a spiritual leader who's deeply connected to Vrindavan. He really offers this unique perspective on the unseen realities and the immense spiritual importance of this place in the Hindu tradition.
All right, unseen realities. Okay, so this is kind of what I was getting at when I was saying it's way more than just a place, right? Like when you go to Vrindavan, it's not like you're just going to, I don't know, Disneyland, right? Like there's something more going on there.
Right.
And so have you ever, wondered about people having like actual divine encounters in places like Vrindavan?
Oh, absolutely. It's something you hear about all the time.
And, what about the fact that some people, when they encounter these energies, they get totally overwhelmed?
Right.
And there's even stories of people like passing away.
Right. What
is going on there? Why is it so intense?
So I guess maybe the best way to start unpacking all that is to focus on two very specific locations, Nidhivan and Seva Kunj. Because there's a strong and enduring belief that Radha and Krishna reside in these places every night.
Wow.
Yeah, and this belief shapes the way people approach these areas. It's not just a quaint story, it's like a living belief.
So it's not just a story that they tell tourists or something?
No, not at all. Like every evening around 8 p.m., the gates of Nidhivan and Seva Kunj, they're closed.
To everyone?
To everyone. No one's allowed in. And here's an interesting thing. Even the monkeys, which are everywhere during the day, they all leave.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they know. It's like the entire place is preparing for something.
Like it's getting ready for like a divine presence or something.
Exactly.
Okay, so they close the gates at night, nobody's allowed in, and then what happens in the morning?
Well, in the morning, when they reopen the gates, there are often signs that something has been going on during the night.
Signs? Like what? Like footprints?
Not quite footprints, but things like a chewed datun, the traditional toothbrush, traces of eaten beetle leaves and sweets, a flower bed that's been completely messed up.
Oh, wow.
Like someone had a party in there.
It's like a divine party.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got these signs of divine presence, this kind of like party happening in the middle of the night. But now let's talk about the people, right?
Right.
The ones who get overwhelmed, the ones who, maybe even pass away.
It's a difficult thing to comprehend.
Yeah, like what's the deal with that?
So the explanation, the way it's often described, is that these people are encountering the rasa, the divine bliss, and it's just too much for them to handle.
Too much?
Yeah. It's like, imagine someone who's lived in poverty their whole life, and then suddenly they're given $1 billion.
Oh.
Could they handle that?
Probably not, yeah.
It would be overwhelming. And in the same way, encountering the pure bliss of the divine can be too much for an unprepared soul.
Okay, so it's not like God is punishing them or anything.
No, not at all. It's more like their system just can't handle the intensity.
It's like touching a live wire or something.
Yeah.
Like too much voltage.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this happens not just in Nidhivan, but also in Seva Kunj.
Oh, right. Sekush.
Where Krishna is believed to serve Radha.
Right.
So there's this divine play happening there as well.
So it's not just these two places, right? I mean, we're talking about Vrindavan, this whole region.
Exactly. The entire 84 kos of Braj, it's all saturated with this divine presence.
84 kos. That's like, how many miles is that?
About 269 miles.
Okay, so a huge area.
Yeah.
And it's all, like you're saying, saturated with this energy.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. So I guess if the whole place is like that, then even like the trees and the plants and the animals must be affected, right?
Well, that's a really interesting point because the belief is that the trees and plants of Vrindavan are not just ordinary trees and plants.
Oh, really? What are they then?
They're actually highly elevated spiritual practitioners who have taken those forms.
So they chose to be trees.
In a way, yes. It's seen as a way for them to engage in their devotion.
Wow.
And many devotees, they pray to be reborn in Vrindavan, even as animals or trees, rather than being born elsewhere in a lower form.
So they'd rather be a tree in Vrindavan than a king in, I don't know, New York City.
Right. Because they see Vrindavan as the place to be, spiritually speaking.
Then they're closer to the divine.
Exactly.
I mean, are there any stories about these trees being special?
Absolutely. You know, our source even shares a story from his guru about a tree in Barsana that seemed completely dead.
Oh, wow.
But when his guru embraced the tree and said, Rahe, the tree came back to life.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful image. And it emphasizes the importance of how we treat all living things in Vrindavan.
So don't go picking leaves off the trees.
Exactly. Don't pluck leaves, break branches, harm animals. You never know who you're dealing with.
It could be a saint in disguise.
Right. And beyond that, there's also an emphasis on feeding animals.
Oh, okay.
Any animal, without discrimination.
So like even a dog?
Yeah, even a dog. Like the Saint Namdev, he saw the divine presence even in a dog. So feeding an animal is like feeding the divine.
Wow, that's a beautiful thought. So, I mean, it sounds like there's a lot to be careful of in Vrindavan, right?
Yeah, it's a very sensitive place, spiritually speaking.
So how should people approach it? Like, what's the right attitude to have?
Well, our source really emphasizes humility.
Humility.
Yeah, approaching Vrindavan with humility and prayer, asking for guidance, asking for forgiveness for any mistakes we might make.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? You don't want to go in there acting like you own the place.
Exactly.
And so I guess prayer is a big part of it.
Absolutely. And one specific recommendation is to visit the Yamuna River first.
The Yamuna River, why?
It's seen as a way to purify yourself, to cleanse yourself before you enter the main areas of Vrindavan.
Okay.
And it's also about transforming our negative swabhav, our inherent nature.
Our inherent nature, so like our bad habits.
More than just bad habits, it's like the deep-seated tendencies that we have.
Okay.
And the belief is that the Yamuna has the power to change those things.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. It's like a spiritual cleansing.
So I guess if you can't physically bathe in the Yamuna, what do you do?
Well, even if you can't physically bathe, the mental aspect is still important. The prayer, the intention.
So it's really about the inner attitude.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the power of this place, how to approach it with the right attitude. But now, let's get into some of the juicy stuff, right?
Ooh, yeah.
The stories of actual divine interactions.
I love these stories.
Me too. They're so inspiring. So there's one about a devotee who was doing Sohini Seva, cleaning a neglected area.
Right.
And his whole feeling, his whole intention was that he was serving the dust from the feet of Radha and Krishna.
Wow.
And as he's cleaning, he finds this divine anklet.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, incredibly beautiful and radiant. And then a gopi appears, looking for it.
A gopi, one of Radha's attendants.
Yeah, and then Radha herself appears.
Wow.
And the understanding is that the anklet was intentionally dropped there as a way to bestow grace on this devotee.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it really shows how personal the divine can be.
Right. It's not like God is this distant, abstract being.
And the anklet left a mark on the devotee's forehead that became the tilak for his tradition.
Wow.
So it's like a physical sign of this encounter.
Right, a permanent reminder.
And it really emphasizes the belief that Thakurji, Krishna, is still actively interacting with devotees in Vrindavan.
Yeah, and not always in ways that we expect.
Right. Like there's another story about a devotee who kind of jokingly told Bihariji, Krishna, that he didn't find him beautiful.
Oh, no.
And immediately he was overwhelmed with this vision of divine beauty.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, be careful what you say.
Right. Be careful what you wish for. But also, it shows that you have to be genuine.
Right.
You can't just go around joking with the divine.
Yeah, you got to have the right intention.
Right.
Okay, so we talked about Radha and Krishna, but there's another major player in Vrindavan, Shiva.
Ah, yes, Shiva. The inseparable connection between Shiva and Krishna is a fundamental principle in Hinduism.
Yeah, like how does that play out in Vrindavan specifically?
Well, there's this great story from the Krishna Charitmanas.
Okay, what is it?
So, when Krishna was born, Shiva was so eager to see him.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, but Yashoda, Krishna's mom, she was a little hesitant at first.
Why?
Because of Shiva's appearance, with the snakes and the ash.
Oh, right. I guess, a little intimidating for a new mom.
Yeah, she was worried he might scare the baby. But Shiva insisted that he just wanted darshan, a glimpse of Krishna.
Just to see him.
Yeah, and he even said that Krishna is beyond fear.
Beyond fear.
Yeah, like fear itself would be afraid of Krishna.
Wow.
And the story goes that baby Krishna wouldn't stop crying until Shiva was allowed to see him.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, it's like they had this connection even as babies. And there's this playful moment where Yashoda tells Shiva that he's now in charge of calming the baby whenever he cries.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's a sweet little exchange. And because of this connection, we have Gopeshwar Mahadev in Vrindavan.
Gopeshwar Mahadev.
Yeah, it's Shiva in the form of a gopi.
What? So Shiva dressed up as a woman.
Yeah, he's worshipped with water during the day, but in the evening he's adorned with a skirt, a veil, jewelry.
Wow.
It's a powerful symbol of his devotion to Krishna.
That's really interesting.
And you'll find other forms of Shiva throughout Braj as well, like Bhuteshwar, Chakleshwar.
So Shiva is like a protector of Vrindavan.
You could say that.
Yeah.
He's also seen as the giver of Krishna Bhakti.
Krishna Bhakti meaning?
Devotion to Krishna.
Oh, okay.
The idea is that givers always want to give the best, right?
Yeah.
And in this context, the best thing to give is devotion to Krishna.
So Shiva is like a matchmaker.
In a way, yeah. He brings people to Krishna.
Okay, now let's switch gears a little bit and talk about a specific practice that's really emphasized in Vrindavan. Naam Japa.
Right, the chanting of the holy names.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Like, why is it so important?
Well, the belief is that chanting 35 million names of God in your lifetime can lead to spiritual realization.
35 million? That's a lot.
It is, but there's a whole initiative in Vrindavan to help people achieve that. Ser Teen Crore Names Sankirtan.
Sincerity named Sankirtan. So it's like a group effort.
Exactly. They organize these massive chanting sessions where everyone comes together.
Okay, so what are they chanting?
The Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Okay, I've heard that before.
It has 16 names, and they chant it on malas, these strings of 108 beads.
So they keep track of how many times they've chanted.
Yeah, and collectively, they aim to reach that 35 million.
Wow.
And in 2025, they're planning an even bigger event.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from May 22nd to 28th, they're going for 1.35 billion names.
1.35 billion. That's insane.
Yeah, it's going to be massive. And the Charan Padukas of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be there.
The Charan Padukas.
The sacred sandals.
Oh, okay. And who is this Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
He's a very important figure in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. Some believe he's an incarnation of Radha and Krishna combined.
Wow.
And his sandals are seen as a direct representation of him.
So people will be able to see them?
Yes, they'll have darshan of the Padukas and abhishek, a ritual bathing.
Go.
And there will also be original handwritten texts of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on display.
Wow, that's pretty special.
Yeah. And the daily schedule will be packed, chanting from morning till afternoon, then evening festivities.
Festivities like what?
Nand Utsav, celebrating Krishna's birth, Giraj Leela, about Krishna's pastimes,
What?
and the Bahula, the wedding of Radha and Krishna.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge celebration. Devotees form two groups representing Radha and Krishna's families. There's a procession, music, dancing.
It sounds really fun.
It is. And the wedding itself takes place on a decorated stage with the deities.
So it's like a real wedding.
In a way, yeah. And there's a place near Vrindavan called Pandarvan where the actual marriage is said to have happened.
Oh, wow.
And they still celebrate it there.
That's amazing. So like a whole week of celebration.
Yeah, and of course there will be Holi celebrations too.
Holi, the festival of colors.
Exactly. They'll get to experience Lathmar Holi, where the women playfully beat the men with sticks.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I'd like to see that.
It's quite a spectacle. And you know, people who have participated in these Naam Japs, they say it's a transformative experience.
Really?
Yeah, they lose track of time, they feel this incredible peace, a deep connection to the divine. Some even say they have tears of joy, and they can still hear the kirtan, the chanting, long after they've left Vrindavan.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're really learning here is that Vrindavan is not just a place, it's like a whole other dimension.
Right, a spiritual realm.
And it's a place where the divine is still actively present.
Absolutely.
And the key to experiencing it is humility, devotion, and practices like Naam Japa.
Exactly.
So I guess the question for our listeners is, how can you bring that kind of intention and energy into your own life, even if you can't go to Vrindavan?
That's a great question. Maybe there are ways to create that sacred space within ourselves, no matter where we are.
Yeah, that's something to think about. All right, well, that's our deep dive into Vrindavan for today. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for having me.